And this time, this sounds really powerful because it's Powerhouse that's coming up next. And it's a partnership between Skanska, Entra, Hydro, Snøhetta, and Zero. And we do not have all those companies here with us today, but we have 2 of the companies, and 2 of those who was with this project all the way from the start. So can please Jørgen Fjelstad from Skanska and Henrik, I have missed all the names today, that's hard. So I tried this one, but I guess I missed this one as well. Borchsenius, eller noe sånt nå? Borchsenius. Thank you, the floor is yours.
Thank you. And thank you for coming to this session as well. Powerhouse is actually a collaborative project on energy positive buildings. Our vision is to show the world actually that we could be able to develop and build buildings like this in a northern climate here in Norway and also in Scandinavia. The partners are, as you can see on the screen, Snøhetta, Zero, Skanska, Entra, and Hydro. It started up about 2 years ago, and during this presentation you will also see that it's actually possible to do something like this in Norway.
Entra is one of Norway's largest property companies. We are engaged in developing and letting, maintenance, operate, sale and purchase of real estate in Norway, mainly office buildings. One of our strategic goals is to be an environmental leader in our business. We have that goal because it's a part of our responsibility, but also because we think it's profitable to be the environmental leader in the building sector. Being an environmental leader requires development and innovation in many ways. We must have the greenest building portfolio, we must have the best competence, we must be the best in communication, and we must rethink the way we do things in many ways. So here, cooperation is a key word. Entra, together with the whole business, must stand together to work against the challenges that are in front of us. So this is the reason for Entra being a part of the Powerhouse Alliance.
Yes, Skanska's goal is to be the leader in green business and environmental friendly development and construction, both in Norway and internationally. And being green for us is a strategic choice. So it's something you choose to do, and by doing so you have to balance what could be difficult sometimes. It's the need for short-term profit with sustainable solutions. And we think that one way of achieving this is to invest heavily in competence, and that's both technical competence when it comes to building and construction in the construction industry, and also the development competence, how you can cooperate with each other. So that's actually one of the things we are spending a lot of money on. And last but not least, it also feels like the right thing to do. There was a slide there missing, but I will go to this one.
Thank you. We all know that we are standing in front of great challenges when it comes to environment and climate changes. The EU says that in 2020, all buildings shall be so-called near zero energy buildings. That means that the buildings that almost not use energy at all. That is a long way from today's practice. We know that our houses and our buildings uses a lot of energy. So it's a long way from today's practice, but it's a short period of time until 2020. To reach these goals, we all have to accept changes. We can't go on in the exact same way as today and believe that we will reach these goals. So we all have to accept changes in, for instance, indoor climate, how warm and cold it should be indoor, and in the business sector, how we do our contracts, and we must rethink how does a building look like. This is a sketch of our project up in Trondheim. The shape of the building is a result of a design process to develop a so-called plus house. That is a house that produces more energy than it uses. So to reach that goal and to actually build a plus house, the shape is constructed with a combined roof and solar cells, so to collect all the sun coming in. So in that way, environment is the premise of the design and the shape of the building. We are used to that buildings looks like square or Leka blocks, Lego klosser. But maybe in the future, all buildings have to have a shape designed for collecting sun and being a plus house. So in that way, as we say in Powerhouse, form follows environment. That is a design principle for the buildings in the future, we believe.
So, and moving on, about 80% of the existing buildings today will still be standing in 2050. So that's why we quote that the greatest potential lies in the existing buildings. And this is a sketch from a project, and you will soon be able to watch a movie. It's a project in Sandvika, close to Oslo. It's called Kjørbo. It's the park on the left, as you can see as you travel by Sandvika. Before we move on to the film, I want to emphasize on a couple of things which make these things possible. It's not so much the technical solutions or the technical products, actually, that we are innovating in this project. It's more on how we work together and how we collaborate. So it's more an innovation project on collaboration in the construction industry. So there are three important things. First, courage. You have to be, and I think you can apply this also on a personal level, you have to be really brave. Every industry has its conventional ways of doing things, and it's not often very, pleasant to try to find new ways of either earn money or work with different partners who are used to their usual place in the value chain. So being brave is very important. Number two, openness. You need to really share your best practice and your competence with others in order to get something back, and you can't afford to be to have secrets for each other in a project like this. Then you won't succeed. And number three, by working closely together over time and investing actually in the time by working together, you will earn trust, which is the third part, which is very important, because then you can trust. When you have processes like this, it's very easy to also from top management within your own company sometimes to question, is this worthwhile spending money on? Then you need to trust your partners that this is a good project that is going through. So those are three things. I will have to ask for some help with the movie because it wasn't possible to run it from here. So this is a movie on Powerhouse. It's about 3 minutes. So let's watch.
By combining and optimizing existing technology in new ways, an ordinary office building from the 1980s can produce more energy than it uses. The key phrases are new ways to work together, competitive prices, and practical sense. In Sandvika, the Powerhouse project is completely changing how we view buildings and energy. The construction industry and existing buildings account for much of the energy consumption in Norway and around the world. In fact, 40%. Energy use and emissions are units that are closely correlated. By combining very low energy consumption with local energy production, office buildings can become a source of energy, a part of the solution. Powerhouse is a partnership established by the environmental organisation Zero, Entra Eiendom, the contractor Skanska, the aluminium company Hydro, and Snohetta Architects. The ambition is to develop and realise buildings that produce more energy than they consume over their lifetime. As far as we know, Powerhouse Kjørbo is the first project in the world to transform an office building into an Energy Plus building. The building will be finished being converted in February 2014. Asplan Viak is the technical consultant and will also be the tenant. The project has shown that it is possible to reduce the energy consumption by 90%. Reusing concrete constructions and other components provides substantial energy gains. Heating is energy intensive. Reuse of ventilation heat is therefore vital. Concrete surfaces are good for even temperatures. Knowledge of materials, new and old, is vital for realizing smart solutions. At Cherbourg, energy wells in the ground provide energy to the heat pump installation in the winter and cooling in the summer. Solar power produces ample energy, around 200,000 kilowatt hours a year. This is more than enough to cover the demand for energy. The power can be supplied not only to the buildings, but also to the power grid. Energy wells and district heating contribute to the heating of hot water. Walls, roofs, and windows are planned with extremely good insulating properties. The building's overall need for energy, heating, cooling, ventilation, and lighting is very low. And the result will be like this. Externally, we have retained the original expression in black. Burnt wood gives a natural and maintenance-free facade with lots of light. In the project, we have found new architectural concepts that integrate technical solutions and use materials that insulate and ensure a good interior temperature. Despite the building's large output of energy, there will be a periodic need for input of energy. Powerhouse Cherbourg is being built using existing technology and available expertise at a competitive price. The really clever solutions come from the new cooperation processes. Powerhouse Cherbourg is a unique project, but it is fully possible to use the concept in other transformation projects and on commercial terms. Instead of being a challenge, buildings can be a part of the solution.
Thank you. As we said on the movie, Powerhouse is a part of the solution. And we in Powerhouse, we want to develop and realize more powerhouses. We have now 2 projects, one in Trondheim and one in Sandvika. So if someone wants to live in a powerhouse or to work in a powerhouse or maybe to own a powerhouse, you are more than welcome to contact us. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jørgen and Henrik. I must admit that I was in a UN meeting in Geneva a couple of years ago, and I joined in for a side event regarding this theme. And I came out and I said, wow, this was stunning, all the technology, all the new stuff. I'm so impressed. And I was there with the people, or with the person who's working within environment and sustainability for years. And he came out and he said, oh, that was a boring session. That was all old news. So it's so impressive to see that we in Norway actually take all that knowledge and technology out and do something about it. So, very interesting.